The St. Augustine Cathedral had never looked more stunning. Golden sunlight poured through tall stained glass windows as violins played a soft melody. White peonies lined the aisle, and more than 400 guests filled the wooden pews. Politicians, investors, journalists, influencers. The kind of crowd where a single scandal could end a career overnight. This was Atlas Grayson's wedding, the rising tech billionaire, America's golden groom, a man whose entire life was built on discipline, silence, and control. And today, he was supposed to marry Alina Hartwell, a brilliant humanitarian activist with a spotless reputation and a heart far too pure for the world she lived in. Atlas adjusted his cufflinks, exhaling a slow breath as he stood at the altar. He looked perfect, composed, unshakable, but inside his mind was spiraling. Beneath the polished suit, beneath the calm expression, he was hiding a truth he prayed would die with the past. His best man, Cole, leaned in slightly. "You good?" he whispered. Atlas nodded, but his jaw clenched. He wasn't good, not even close, because someone, unknown, unseen, had slipped a sealed brown envelope into his dressing room just 30 minutes earlier. A single line written on the front. "You forgot to destroy this." He hadn't opened it. He didn't have to. He knew exactly what it was. His signature, his handwriting, his confession. A document he wrote one night years ago, drunk, broken, terrified. After a tragedy he never wanted anyone to connect to him. A tragedy that wasn't entirely his fault, but wasn't entirely innocent either. He thought he had burned it, watched the flames swallow every word, every memory, every piece of guilt. But someone else had a copy, someone who wanted this wedding to stop. The church doors suddenly clicked shut behind the last guest. The music softened. Everyone waited. Then, the main cathedral doors burst open. Gasps echoed across the room. A man walked in, tall, sharp-jawed, confident, wearing a dark suit like he owned the place. The kind of disruptor who didn't fear consequences. The whisper started immediately. "Is that? Oh my God, isn't that Alina's ex? Why is he here?" Someone stop him. Atlas's stomach twisted into a knot. It was him, Landon Pierce, Alina's former fiancé, the man she nearly married 3 years before, the man she never talked about without her voice cracking. He walked straight down the aisle, ignoring the security guards already moving toward him. A smile, slow, dangerous, curved across Landon's lips as he lifted a thin black folder. And inside it was the envelope, Atlas's envelope. Landon raised it high enough for the guests to see. "I believe," he said loudly, voice echoing through the cathedral. The groom forgot to share something important. The room erupted. Alina, standing behind the doors ready to walk out, froze. Atlas's blood turned to ice. He wasn't looking at a jealous ex. He wasn't looking at a man desperate to get his lover back. He wasn't even looking at an angry, heartbroken memory. He was looking at a man who came prepared to detonate his life. Because the envelope in Landon's hand didn't just hold a piece of paper. It held the past Atlas prayed would stay buried. A confession that could ruin the wedding, his career, Alina, and everything he built. And Landon didn't walk in to stop the wedding. He walked in to destroy it. Make sure to like and subscribe our channel to support our journey. Let's dive into it from most perfect wedding to public execution in 10 seconds. The cathedral fell into a suffocating stillness. The moment Landon lifted the envelope, Atlas felt his throat closing. Every camera, every phone, every whisper turning into a razor against his skin. His heartbeat thundered in his ears, loud enough to drown out the violins that had abruptly stopped. Cole, the best man, grabbed Atlas's arm. "Atlas, say something. Stop him before." "I can't," Atlas whispered, barely audible, because he knew Landon wasn't bluffing. Landon didn't do theatrics without proof, and he never attacked without strategy. The man was a former prosecutor, cold, sharp, calculated. Atlas had once admired him from far away, but now he felt hunted. The bride behind the door, behind the closed cathedral entrance, Alina stood frozen, bouquet trembling in her hands. Her bridesmaids whispered urgently around her. "Alina, do you want us to stop this? Should we call security?" Alina, say something, but she couldn't say anything, because Landon wasn't just an ex. He was her first love, her almost husband, the man who shattered her once, and apparently came to do it all over again. Only this time, she wasn't the target. Atlas was. Why? She didn't know, but whatever was in that envelope, she could see the way Atlas went pale. He was scared, truly scared, and Alina had never seen him scared of anything. Back inside, the bomb drops. Landon walked closer to the altar, slow steps echoing like ticking clocks. Security tried to reach him, but he held up a hand. "Oh, don't worry," he said coolly. "I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm just here to tell the truth the groom conveniently forgot." He stopped right in front of Atlas. The entire room leaned in. "Do you want to tell them?" Landon asked softly, almost mockingly, "or should I?" Atlas didn't speak, couldn't speak, because in that envelope was something more damaging than a crime. It was a confession of responsibility for the night that ruined a life, a girl's life, a night Atlas had spent years trying to repay, through donations, through silence, through guilt. But guilt never disappears, especially when someone wants to weaponize it. Cole steps in. "Bro, that's enough," Cole snapped, stepping between them. "This is a wedding, you're not a prosecutor anymore." Landon smirked. "Believe me, I didn't come here as a lawyer." He tapped the envelope. "I came here as the brother of the girl whose life your groom destroyed." A collective gasp rippled across the cathedral. Atlas staggered back a step. No, he never knew the girl had a brother. He never. And then it hit him like a knife. Landon's sister. Oh God, it all made sense now. Atlas whispered, barely audible. "I didn't know she was your." "Save it," Landon hissed. His eyes were blazing, not with jealousy, not with heartbreak, but with vengeance. The envelope opens. Landon snapped the seal open. Cameras flashed. Guests stood up. People whispered like wildfire. "Alina deserves to know," Landon said loudly. "Everyone deserves to know." Atlas lunged forward. "Don't." But Landon stepped back sharply. "You think you're the only one who lost something that night," he said, voice cracking with years of buried rage. "My sister still can't walk without pain. She still has nightmares. And you," he jabbed a finger toward Atlas, "you wrote this confession, then tried to burn it and walk away, like her life was something you could erase." Atlas felt the world collapsing under his feet. He had spent years trying to atone, years trying to make it right, but he never imagined that accident had destroyed more lives than he knew. And now the consequences had walked through his wedding doors. The bride enters. Before Landon could read the first line aloud, the cathedral doors swung open. Alina walked in, slow, composed, but her eyes, her usually soft, warm eyes, were stormy. The guests fell silent again. Even Landon stopped breathing. She looked at him first. "Landon," her voice barely trembled. "What are you doing?" Landon swallowed. "Alina, you deserve the truth." Then she turned her gaze to Atlas, and the look on her face shattered him. Not anger, not betrayal, something worse. "Fear." "Atlas," she whispered, "is it yours, the confession?" The question felt like a knife carving open every wound he tried to hide. He took a breath that felt like stepping off a cliff. "Alina," his voice cracked. "It's complicated." Landon laughed darkly. "There it is, the classic coward's answer." Alina's fingers tightened around her bouquet. "Atlas," she whispered again, "tell me." But how could he? How could he tell the woman he loved that his past was darker than she ever imagined? How could he admit that he had destroyed someone once, and that someone was standing right here, holding the proof? Alina's voice broke, one word escaping her trembling lips. "Why didn't you tell me?" A tear slid down Atlas's cheek before he could stop it. "Because," he whispered, "I didn't want you to look at me the way you're looking at me right now." Alina's heart clenched, and Landon lifted the confession higher, because the next line he was about to read would change everything. Forever, one sentence, one truth, and the wedding goes from sacred to war. The cathedral felt colder, like the air itself recoiled from the moment that was about to happen. Landon stood at the center aisle, envelope open, his fingers brushing the top page like someone preparing to pull a trigger. Alina stood frozen halfway between the doors and the altar, her veil trembling with her uneven breaths. Atlas stood inches from breaking, jaw tight, fists clenched, guilt dripping from his eyes like a confession he never wanted to speak. "Read it," someone whispered from the audience. Another voice, "Let the bride know." A third, "We need to hear the truth." The entire church was turning into a courtroom, and Landon was the judge. The moment he read the first line, Landon smoothed the paper, inhaled slowly, and began in a calm voice that cut through the silence like a blade. "I, Atlas Grayson, take full responsibility for the accident that left." Atlas lunged forward. "Stop." Landon stepped back, raising the page. "Too late." All eyes widened. A woman in the front gasped. Even Cole froze. But Landon continued. "Left Mara Pierce permanently injured. I was behind the wheel. I was intoxicated, and I drove away." The cathedral erupted. People stood. Phones were lifted. Women covered their mouths. Reporters scribbled frantically. A man shouted, "Is this real?" Atlas staggered backward like he'd been punched. No, that's not the full story. Alina, listen to me." But Alina didn't move. She didn't blink. It felt like her heart had stopped. "Mara Pierce," she whispered. "My sister," Landon said sharply. "The girl he hit, then abandoned." Atlas breaks. Atlas's knees buckled, but he caught himself against the altar. "Alina," he whispered, voice cracking. "I didn't leave her. I swear to you, I didn't leave her like he's saying." Landon scoffed. "Tell her the rest, Atlas. Tell her why you disappeared before help arrived." Atlas's hand shook. He looked at Alina. All he wanted was her eyes, her trust, her breath next to his, but she was pulling away, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. "Say it," Landon growled, "or I'll say it for you." The truth Atlas never spoke. Atlas squeezed his eyes shut. "Alina, I stayed with her. I called 911. I held her hand." "But," Landon roared. Atlas swallowed hard, throat burning. "But I left before the paramedics came." Alina's lips parted. "Why?" she whispered. Atlas opened his mouth, but no words came out, because the real answer was the one he feared the most. Landon stepped in, voice cold and merciless, because his father told him to run. Gasps, whispers. Alina took 2 steps back. Atlas's chest caved in. "That's not the whole story," Atlas whispered desperately. "My father, he forced me, threatened me." "Oh please," Landon snapped. "You're a billionaire now. You expect anyone to believe you were scared of daddy." Atlas's shoulders shook. "Alina, I was 19. I was scared, dizzy, drunk. I thought I killed her. My dad dragged me away. I wanted to go back." "But you didn't," Landon growled. "You didn't." Alina finally speaks. "Alina," Atlas whispered again. She looked at him, and in her eyes he didn't see anger. He didn't see hatred. He saw devastation. "You promised," she whispered. "You promised you were honest with me, that you told me everything." "I tried," Atlas said, voice trembling. "I wanted to so many times, but I thought if you knew this, you'd never love me." Landon stepped forward, blocking Atlas's view of her. "You don't deserve her love." Atlas's jaw clenched. "Move," he said quietly. "No," Landon replied. "Not until she hears everything." The page turns. Landon flipped to the second page. Cole swore under his breath. "Don't you dare," Cole growled. But Landon lifted his chin. "I dare." He read, "If this ever comes to light, the board will remove me. The press will destroy me. And Alina, she'll never forgive me. This mistake, this guilt, is the one part of me she can never see." Alina's breath hitched. Her bouquet slipped from her hand. White petals scattered across the cathedral floor. "Atlas," she whispered, voice breaking. "So everything you built with me, was based on something you hid from me." Atlas reached for her hand, but she stepped back, and that broke him. Landon attacks. "You see, Alina," Landon said. "He isn't the man he pretends to be." Atlas finally snapped. "You think you know everything," Atlas roared. "Where were you when your sister was crying in the hospital months later, when she needed someone to pay for treatment, because your family was drowning in debt? I paid for everything. I visited her every month." Landon's eyes widened. "You visited her?" Atlas nodded, tears falling. "I never abandoned her. I abandoned the scene, not her." Alina gasped softly. "And she forgave me," Atlas whispered. "She told me to forgive myself too. She told me not to ruin my life over a mistake." Landon froze. His fury flickered, because he didn't know that. His sister never told him. Atlas continued, voice breaking. "But you," he pointed at Landon. "You wanted revenge more than truth." The church went silent. Landon's jaw clenched, but his eyes betrayed something new. Doubt. The bride walks away. Alina finally whispered, I need time." Atlas's world cracked. "Alina, please." But she turned and walked out of the cathedral. Landon watched her leave, stunned. Atlas sank to his knees. The confession pages fluttered to the floor like broken pieces of a life he couldn't put back together. Guests stood in pure silence. Cole placed a hand on Atlas's back. "Bro, you have to go after her." Atlas lifted his head. His eyes were red, raw, and determined. He stood, wiped his tears, and whispered, "I'm not losing her. Not to my past. Not to him." Sometimes the distance between two hearts isn't miles, it's truth. The cathedral doors swung shut behind Alina. Her heels echoed down the marble steps, the sound sharp and uneven, like someone running away from her own heartbeat. Outside, the weather had shifted. Clouds rolled in, heavy and dark, as if the sky itself wanted to cry with her. Inside, Atlas jolted up. "Where is she?" he whispered breathlessly. Cole pointed toward the exit. "Go, don't think, just go." Atlas ran, not like a billionaire groom, not like a man in a tailored wedding suit. He ran like a man, losing the only person who ever made him believe he deserved love. Alina's breakdown, the parking lot scene. Alina reached the cathedral's empty parking lot, chest rising and falling uncontrollably. Her veil ripped as she yanked it off. Her bouquet dropped to the asphalt, and then she collapsed against a car, covering her face as sobs ripped out of her. Why didn't he tell me?" she whispered to herself. A woman nearby, a florist, froze with sympathy but didn't approach, because Alina looked like someone breaking in slow motion. Atlas reaches her, but not first. Atlas pushed through the doors. "Alina." She didn't turn, but someone else did. A dark SUV pulled up. "Landon." He stepped out, chest heaving, eyes still burning with leftover rage. But now something else mixed inside. Guilt, maybe for the first time. He walked toward Alina. "Alina, wait." Atlas gritted his teeth. No, she needs me, not you." Landon put a hand on Alina's shoulder. She flinched. "Don't touch her," Atlas roared. The confrontation, three hearts at war. Alina wiped her face, looking at both men. Landon spoke first. "Alina, I didn't know he visited Mara. I didn't know he paid for her treatment." Atlas stepped closer. "Because you were too busy hatting me to be there for her." Landon's jaw tightened. "But that doesn't erase what you did." Atlas nodded. His voice was steady, broken but steady. "I know, I will never erase it. I will always carry it. But Alina deserves the whole truth, not the edited version you stormed in with." Landon looked away. "Alina," Atlas stepped forward slowly, like approaching a wounded deer. "I'm sorry, I should have told you long ago." "Why didn't you?" she whispered. Atlas's voice cracked. "Because loving you felt like the first good thing in my life, and I was terrified of losing it." Her eyes filled again. "That's the problem," she whispered. "You didn't trust that I would stay." The line that broke Atlas. Alina hugged her arms around herself. "I don't know if I can marry someone who hides the darkest parts of himself from me." Atlas's breath trembled. "Alina, please look at me." She finally did. His eyes were devastated. Hollow, hope fighting through guilt. "Alina, I swear to you, I'm not that 19-year-old kid anymore. I will tell you everything. No more secrets, no more fear." She shook her head slowly. "I need space, I need time, and I need the truth, all of it." Atlas nodded. "I'll give you everything, anything." Landon stepped between them again, but this time, his voice wasn't angry. "Alina, you shouldn't be making decisions right now. Not like this. Come with me, let me drive you home." Atlas exploded. "What? No. She needs stability," Landon said calmly. "She needs someone who won't pressure her." Atlas stepped closer, chest brushing Landon. "You're not taking her anywhere." Alina's voice cut through their tension. "Stop." Both men froze. "I'm not going with either of you." She said it quietly but firmly. Her voice didn't shake anymore. "I'm going alone." The moment she left them both, she picked up her ripped veil, held it for a second, then dropped it again. "Alina, please," Atlas whispered. She didn't look back. She walked toward the far side of the parking lot, toward the road. The sky finally gave in. Rain began falling, cold, hard, unforgiving. Atlas stood there, soaked, watching the woman he loved disappear through the storm. Landon stepped back slowly, regret hitting him like a slow-moving punch. Neither of them spoke, because Alina had chosen something worse than another man. Distance. The storm twisted. Someone else was watching. As Alina turned the corner onto the main road, a black sedan parked across the street flashed its lights twice. Someone inside lowered their phone. A picture of Alina in her torn wedding dress. A message sent to an unknown number. "She walked out, just like you predicted." A reply came instantly. Good. Phase 2 begins. The sedan started slowly following her. Some storms fall from the sky. Some come from people you once trusted. The rain fell harder. Elena walked along the sidewalk, her wedding dress dragging through puddles, makeup washed away, heart thundering in her chest. Every car that passed splashed cold water on her. But she didn't care. Just keep walking, she whispered to herself. Don't think, don't look back. But she should have, because someone was following her. Slow, silent, patient. The black sedan. Atlas breaks the silence. Back at the cathedral parking lot, Atlas finally exhaled. A sharp, broken sound that didn't even feel human. Cole looked at him carefully. We should go after her. Atlas shook his head. She said she wants space. Cole grabbed his shoulders. And you trusted her enough to propose. Trust her enough to follow her when she's breaking man. Landon watched them quietly, eyes narrowed, because something was off. He kept replaying the moment from a minute ago. When Elena walked away, she wasn't just heartbroken. She was scared, not just of Atlas, scared of something else, something bigger. The sedan moves. Elena turned into a quiet street lined with closed shops. The sedan followed at a slow creep. She felt the hairs on her arms rise. Her pace quickened. So did the car. She whispered, no, no, no. Her phone buzzed. A message from a blocked number. Keep walking straight, don't run. Her blood turned to ice. Another message came instantly. You look beautiful in white. Elena dropped her phone. Her fingers trembled violently. Who are you? She whispered to no one. Atlas gets a call. Atlas was about to step back into the cathedral when Cole's phone rang. Unknown number. Cole answered. A voice, low, calm, terrifyingly familiar. Tell Atlas he should have listened earlier. Cole froze. Who the hell is this? Click. The call ended. Atlas grabbed Cole's phone. Who was that? Cole shook his head. I think. But before he finished, Atlas's own phone buzzed. A text from Elena's number. But the message wasn't hers. If you want your bride alive, come alone. Atlas turned white as snow. No, no, please no. Landon stepped forward. What happened? Atlas showed the phone. Landon's face drained. This isn't about the accident, he whispered. This is something else. Cole stepped forward. Bro, we need police. Atlas grabbed him. No, if she's taken, if they're watching. The moment cops show up, she's gone. His voice was trembling. Desperate. Ruh. I can't lose her, man, I can't. Elena runs. Elena grabbed her skirt in her fists and ran. The sedan sped up. Headlights flashed. A door on the passenger side cracked open, just an inch. Elena sprinted through the rain, heart pounding so hard she could taste blood. Help, someone please. But the street was empty. Only echoes answered. A voice came from behind her, from the sedan's cracked door. A voice she recognized. A voice she never wanted to hear again. Elena, stop running. You know why I'm here. Her legs almost gave out. No, you're supposed to be in prison. The silhouette inside the car smirked. Not anymore. Back at the cathedral, Landon's revelation. Landon suddenly froze. His eyes widened. Atlas, he whispered slowly. There's something I never told you. Atlas's breathing stopped. Cole stepped closer. Landon, not now. No, Landon snapped. She needs to know everything. He needs to know too. Then he turned to Atlas. 2 months ago, someone approached me. Someone who asked for information about your wedding. About Elena. Atlas's skin crawled. What did you do? I said no, Landon said quickly. But he already knew everything. He knew where the venue was. He knew Elena's schedule. He knew about the accident. He even knew Mara's medical history. Atlas stepped back. Who was it? He whispered. Landon swallowed hard. Her ex. Atlas's eyes widened. Elena, what? Landon nodded slowly. The one she never talks about. The one she had a restraining order against. Cole's mouth dropped. You mean? Landon finished the sentence with a whisper. Damian Cross. The name Elena feared. Elena stumbled into an alley, breathing erratically, rain blurring her vision. The sedan cut her off. The passenger door opened, and a tall figure stepped out. Black suit, umbrella, smile cold enough to freeze air. Hello, Elena. Her legs shook so violently she nearly fell. Damian. He stepped closer. You didn't think you could marry someone else without telling me, did you? She backed away, tears mixing with rain. What do you want? Damian smiled darkly. Phase 2. Atlas runs into the storm. Atlas sprinted down the street, drenched, breathless, heart racing like a wild animal. Landon and Cole followed behind him. Streetlights flickered, thunder cracked overhead, and Atlas screamed her name into the storm. Billionaire. His voice echoed through the empty streets. He didn't care if the world heard his fear. He just needed her to hear his love. Please, Billionaire. But she couldn't, because Damien placed a hand on her face, leaned close and whispered, "You're coming with me." She squeezed her eyes shut and whispered the name she trusted more than anything. "Atlas, please." Damien smiled. So he still matters. He grabbed her arm, and the sedan door slammed shut. The final shot, a message to Atlas. Atlas reached the main road. A car sped past him. Black sedan. He didn't see Alina inside, but his phone buzzed. A photo. Her torn wedding dress. Her terrified face. Damien's hand gripping her wrist. Caption: "You took something from me. Now I take something from you." Atlas fell to his knees in the rain. Cole and Landon ran to him, but he couldn't breathe. He couldn't think. He could only whisper, "I'm coming for you, Alina. I swear I'm coming for you." And then his phone buzzed again. Another message. A location. A warehouse on the far edge of the city. Come alone. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. Sometimes the hero isn't the one who arrives first. It's the one who refuses to leave. The rain slammed against the windshield as Atlas drove toward the abandoned industrial side of the city. His shirt was soaked. His tie was missing. His heartbeat was louder than the thunder. Cole and Landon were in the car behind him, because no matter what the message said, Atlas wasn't going alone. Not this time. Not when Alina's life was on the line. Inside the warehouse, Alina wakes up. A sharp sting in her wrists. A cold metal chair. A single hanging bulb flickering above her. Alina's eyes fluttered open. Her breath hitched as she realized her hands were tied behind the chair. Her voice cracked. "Damien, please." A figure stepped out of the shadows. Damien Cross. Her ex. Her nightmare. He crouched in front of her, tilting her chin up like she was something he owned. "Alina," he whispered, "I warned you. You don't leave me. Not for anyone. And certainly not for a man like Atlas." Her eyes filled. "Damien, why are you doing this? What do you want?" Damien smiled slow, rehearsed, venomous. "What I always wanted." He leaned closer. "You." Alina shook her head, tears falling fast. "No, you don't love me. You control me." Damien's smile vanished. He slapped her. The sound echoed through the empty warehouse. Alina gasped but didn't break, because she wasn't the same girl he once controlled. She lifted her chin again. "You can hurt me, but Atlas will come." Damien's eyes flickered with irritation. "Oh, sweetheart," he whispered. "That's exactly what I want." He stepped back, checking his watch. Right on time. Atlas arrives, the storm inside him. Atlas's car screeched to a stop outside the warehouse. Cole and Landon parked behind him. Cole grabbed his sleeve. "Bro, think if this is a trap." Atlas pulled his arm away. "I don't care." Landon stepped closer. "You're going for her. We're going for you." Atlas didn't argue. He nodded once. A silent pact between the three men who should have been enemies, but were now united by one woman. He pushed open the warehouse door. Cold, dark, echoing. "Billionaire," Atlas shouted. His voice bounced through the empty space. "Billionaire," a faint voice replied. "Atlas, do." Atlas's breath shattered. "I'm here, I'm right here." Footsteps echoed. Then, Damien stepped into the light. Slow, calm, deadly. "Welcome, Groom." Atlas's hands curled into fists. "Where is she?" Damien smirked. "Exactly where I want her to be." The face-off, Atlas versus Damien. Damien circled Atlas slowly, like a predator enjoying the moment. "You took her from me," Damien said. "You humiliated me, ruined everything I built with her." Atlas glared. "You ruined it yourself. You controlled her, hurt her." Damien chuckled. "Oh, Atlas, you think you're her hero." He leaned forward. "You're the rebound." Atlas didn't move, but his jaw clenched. Damien continued. "You hide secrets. You killed a girl. You lied to Alina, and she still thinks you're some kind of savior." Atlas's voice broke quiet but sharp as glass. "I may be flawed, but I don't hurt her. I don't cage her. I don't own her." Damien's eye twitched, and then he snapped. He lunged. Atlas dodged barely. A metal pipe slammed into the floor where his head had been a second earlier. Atlas backed up, breathing hard. Damien swung again. Atlas blocked it with his arm, pain shot through him. But Atlas didn't stop, because every hit Damien threw, Atlas thought of Alina's tears, her fear, her voice saying, "Atlas, please." And pain became fuel. Atlas grabbed Damien's wrist, twisted hard. The pipe flew across the warehouse. Damien's eyes widened. Atlas punched him once, then twice. Damien stumbled. Atlas grabbed him by the collar. "Where is she?" Damien laughed, blood on his teeth. "You're too late." Atlas's world froze. "What?" Damien whispered. Phase 2 wasn't about taking her. It was about moving her. Atlas went cold. Alina wasn't in the warehouse. She was somewhere else. Damien smirked. And Phase 3 starts now. He snapped his fingers. The twist, the gunman in the dark. A second man stepped out from a corner. Gun raised, pointed at Atlas's chest. Cole and Landon rushed in from the door. Cole shouted, "Atlas down." Bang! Atlas dove. The bullet scraped his shoulder. Cole tackled the gunman. Landon grabbed Damien, slamming him into a wall. It was chaos. Metal shouts, gunfire, rain leaking through the ceiling. Atlas crawled to his feet, blood dripping down his arm. He grabbed Damien by the throat. "Where is she?" Damien smiled softly, like he'd already won. "You're chasing the wrong warehouse." Atlas shook him harder. "Where?" Damien leaned in and whispered, "Ask your father." Atlas froze. "What?" Damien chuckled. "Oh, Atlas, you really thought your past accident was your biggest secret. Your father is hiding something much, much bigger." Atlas's entire body went cold. "What did he do?" he whispered. Damien smiled wider. "He bought me." Atlas's heart stopped. "He hired me to break your wedding, to stop you from marrying her, to bring her somewhere else." Atlas felt the world tilt. "My father, what, why?" Damien whispered the final blow. "Because Alina wasn't supposed to be your bride. She was supposed to be your father's bargaining chip." Atlas's breath died in his lungs. Damien leaned close. "She's already in his hands." Atlas screamed, "No," but Damien only laughed. The final line, the truth that shattered him. Landon punched Damien unconscious. Cole grabbed Atlas. "Bro, what did he say?" Atlas stared at the concrete floor, shaking, breaking. He whispered, "My father, he has her." Thunder exploded outside. Because love didn't betray Atlas today. Blood did. Sometimes the closest people don't stab your back. They stab your future. The rain hammered the windshield as Atlas drove like a man, chasing the edge of sanity. Cole was beside him. Landon followed behind. Atlas's shoulder was bleeding. His world was collapsing, but his focus was razor sharp. "My father has Alina." The words tasted like poison every time he repeated them in his head. The mansion where power lived and love died. Atlas slammed the car to a stop outside the Cross family estate, a massive, cold fortress high on a hill. The estate didn't look like a home tonight. It looked like a prison. Lights were on, security guards everywhere. Cole whispered, "Bro, this looks wrong." Atlas clenched his jaw. "It is wrong." He walked up to the metallic doors and pounded hard. "Open the door." The guards hesitated until a voice echoed from inside. "Let him in." The doors opened. Atlas stepped in, and for the first time since childhood, he was afraid of his own father. The father, a man built of ice. Richard Cross stood at the end of the hallway. Tall, expensive suit, emotionless eyes. A man people feared, respected, but never loved. Atlas's voice cracked with rage. "Where is she?" Richard didn't blink. "You're injured," he said calmly. "Get that treated first." Atlas stepped forward. "I said, where is she?" Richard breathed slowly. "Safe." Atlas nearly snapped. "What the hell does that mean?" Richard exhaled softly. "You made too many reckless choices. I simply corrected your path." Atlas froze. "My path?" Richard nodded. "And Alina?" Atlas felt his blood go cold. "What did you do to her?" Richard finally smiled, a soft, calculated, terrifying smile. "What I should have done the moment she entered your life." The reveal, Alina's true value. Richard walked toward a massive mahogany door. "Come," he said. "It's time you understand why Alina is more than just a bride." Atlas felt Cole's hand on his shoulder. "You don't have to go in alone." Atlas shook his head. "I do." He pushed the door, and his world shattered. Alina locked in the estate. Alina sat on a velvet chair, hands tied, legs bruised, makeup ruined. But her eyes were yet unbroken. She looked up. "Atlas." Atlas rushed to her, but 2 guards held him back. "Let me, Gio." Richard raised a hand. "Enough." Alina's voice cracked. "Atlas, your father, he." Richard stepped forward. "Alina is connected to a family who owes me a great deal of money." Atlas blinked. "What?" Richard continued, calm as death. "Her parents borrowed millions from me 20 years ago, never paid a dime. They disappeared. They left her as the only remaining leverage." Alina's entire body trembled. "That's not true," she whispered. Richard tilted his head. "It absolutely is. Your mother worked for the Cross Corporation. Your father stole confidential files. I allowed them to escape prison in exchange for their cooperation." Atlas stepped back stunned. You're lying." Richard looked at him like a disappointed teacher. "Why would I lie about something so simple?" Alina shook her head violently. "No, my parents died in an accident." Richard smirked. "That's what you were told." Alina gasped. Atlas felt the room tilt. No, her parents, they..." Richard cut him off. "Your mother told you that story, Atlas. She covered for them." Atlas's heart punched his ribs. This can't be real." Richard stepped closer to Alina. "Your parents didn't die, Alina. They vanished because they owed me, and you were the last piece left. A piece I needed to secure a very important business deal." Alina stared at him, horrified. "You kidnapped me for a deal." Richard's voice was surgical. "Of course." Atlas breaks, the man versus the blood. Atlas trembled with rage, with confusion, with heartbreak. "You used her. You hired Damien. You broke my wedding." Richard nodded. "Yes, because she was never meant to be your bride." Atlas's eyes filled with tears. "Then what was she supposed to be?" Richard's next words sliced him open. "Collateral." Alina choked on a sob. Atlas felt something inside him snap. He lunged, but the guards grabbed him again. Richard looked at him calmly. "Control yourself, Atlas. You're a cross." Atlas spat the words like venom. "I don't want to be." Richard's jaw tightened. "That's unfortunate. Because your entire life, your money, your privileges, your status exists because of me. And if you walk away..." He leaned close. "You lose everything." Atlas whispered, "Then I'll lose everything." Silence. Thunder rolled outside. Richard's voice dropped slow, dangerous. "You would give up your inheritance for this girl." Atlas looked at Alina. Even bruised, terrified, and broken, she was his world. He didn't hesitate. "Yes, I would give up everything for her." Alina's tears fell silently. Richard watched his son, not angry, not shocked, but disappointed. "I see." He snapped his fingers. "Take her away." Alina screamed. Atlas roared. "No, don't touch her." Guards dragged Alina toward the back door. Atlas fought like a man possessed. "Kill Me before you take her. Let her Gio, let her Gio." Richard whispered, "This is the cost of disobedience." And then, an alarm blared. Glass shattered. Someone broke through the estate windows. Richard turned. "What the..." Atlas froze. Cole froze. Alina gasped, because the man entering wasn't a guard, wasn't a friend, wasn't an enemy. It was someone they least expected. Someone with a gun. Someone whose arrival changed everything. Alina's father. Alive, and not alone. Some men die once. Some die every time the truth comes out. Glass shattered across the marble floor. Cold wind rushed into the mansion. And then, a man stepped through the broken window. Dripping rain, holding a gun, eyes filled with years of running, guilt and fury. Alina's breath collapsed. "Dad." Atlas froze. Cole whispered, "Bro, what is happening right now?" Richard Cross straightened his jacket like nothing was surprising. You're early." Alina's father aimed the gun straight at Richard. "You ruined our lives." Richard didn't flinch. Not even a blink. "You ruined your own life, Daniel." Atlas's heart slammed inside his chest. "Daniel," he whispered, staring at Alina's father. Alina's father finally looked at Atlas, and guilt washed across his face. "Atlas, son, I'm sorry you're involved in this." Atlas shook his head. "What did you do? Why did my father? What happened 20 years ago? The truth, the deal that destroyed 2 families." Daniel kept the gun steady, but his voice cracked. "We didn't borrow money from him, Alina. We didn't steal files." Alina blinked through tears. "Then why did we disappear?" Daniel's jaw shook. "Because we found out what your mother and Richard were doing." Atlas stepped back like someone punched him. "My mother..." Daniel nodded. "Your mother helped Richard hide millions in illegal deals. Offshore accounts, Fake charities, bribery. Atlas's world spun. No, my mother wasn't like that. Daniel's eyes softened. She regretted it, Atlas. She wanted to expose him. She told your father she'd testify against him. She told us too. Richard finally sighed like this was all irritating noise. Yes, and she paid the price for it. Atlas felt ice crawl up his spine. What does that mean? Daniel's voice trembled. She died in a car crash, Atlas, but it wasn't an accident. Atlas's knees almost gave out. No, Daniel swallowed. Your mother tried running. She knew too much. Richard couldn't let her leave with the evidence. Elena gasped. Mr. Cross, you killed your own wife. Richard smiled faintly. Of course not. I hired people to make sure she never talked. A pause. They got carried away. Atlas saw red. He lunged, but Cole held him back with everything in him. Atlas, stop. Atlas roared like an animal trying to tear through the world. You killed Mom. You killed MY mother. I will break you. Richard didn't blink. Control yourself. You're embarrassing the family. Atlas screamed. You are not MY family. Daniel shouted over the chaos. We ran because Richard wanted us silenced too. Elena was only 5. We vanished to save her. Elena sobbed. Dad, all these years, all that fear was because of him. Daniel nodded. And if I didn't come now, he would have taken you again. Richard rolled his eyes. She was leverage, nothing more. The SHOT, chaos in the Cross estate. Daniel finally snapped. You don't get to touch my daughter again. He fired. The bullet grazed Richard's arm. Guards stormed in. Guns drawn. Take them out, Richard barked. Chaos exploded. Cole tackled one guard. Landon burst in through the back door and grabbed a gun off the floor. Daniel pulled Elena behind a marble pillar. Atlas threw himself into the center of the room to draw attention. Bullets shredded furniture. Glass exploded. The rainstorm howled through broken windows. Atlas grabbed a fallen guard's weapon. He pointed it at his father. Stop everything or I swear I will put you down. Richard didn't raise his hands. He simply said, You won't. Atlas's finger trembled on the trigger. Try me. You're my son, Richard replied. Atlas's voice cracked. You killed my mom. Richard shook his head. She betrayed this family. Atlas shouted, You're the family she tried to escape from. Another burst of gunfire erupted. A bullet shattered the vase beside Atlas. Dust and marble exploded. Elena screamed. Atlas, move. He dove behind a table. Daniel returned fire. Landon hit a guard's leg. Cole dragged Elena toward Atlas. Richard shouted, Don't let them leave this house. The guards closed in. Daniel ran out of ammo. He grabbed Elena's wrist. Run! But a guard fired. The bullet hit Daniel in the side. Elena screamed. Dad! He fell to one knee. Atlas saw the blood. No, no, no. Daniel pushed Elena away with shaking hands. Gio, both of you, run. Another guard aimed at Elena. Atlas fired and hit him. Cole yelled, Bro, we have to move. Atlas grabbed Elena's hand. Daniel shouted, voice shaking with pain. Atlas, take her to the east exit. It's unlocked. Gio, Gio, Gio. Richard yelled behind them. Don't let them leave, shoot them. And that was it. Atlas didn't look back. He dragged Elena with him. Cole and Landon covered their escape. They sprinted down the hallway, past portraits of Cross ancestors, past rooms of cold luxury, past the life Atlas was done with forever. Guards chased them. Bullets flew. Elena stumbled. Atlas lifted her into his arms. They burst through the east exit door, into the storm, into darkness, into uncertainty, but finally free. Atlas placed Elena in the car. Are you hurt? Elena shook her head, sobbing. What about my dad? We'll come back for him, Atlas whispered. I promise. He shut the door, took the driver's seat. Cole and Landon jumped in behind them. Atlas whispered, This ends tonight. He hit the gas. They sped into the storm, leaving the mansion, leaving Richard, leaving the Cross name behind. But as they disappeared into the darkness, someone else was watching from a nearby car. A figure, rain-soaked, smirking, Damien, alive, bruised, and whispering into a phone. They're running. Phase 4 begins. Sometimes running isn't enough. Sometimes you have to burn the bridges behind you. Atlas's car skidded through flooded streets. Rain hammered the windshield. Elena clutched him, shivering. Dad, she whispered, voice trembling. Atlas shook his head. He's alive but wounded. We can't waste time. Cole drove aggressively. Where to, bro? Atlas didn't answer. His mind raced. Richard had her father. Damien was alive. The Cross Empire was still a threat. And tonight, war would begin. Back at the mansion, Richard's retaliation. Richard slammed his fist on a table. How did they escape? Guards scrambled. Damien leaned against the wall, smirking despite bruises. You underestimated them. Again. Richard's eyes narrowed. Then finish this. Find them, bring them back, alive. Damien's smile flickered. Or dead, he asked. Richard didn't answer. The cold smile was enough. Daniel on the edge. Elena's father lay against a marble pillar, blood seeping through his shirt. His breaths were shallow. Atlas had promised to return. Daniel groaned. They escaped. A guard whispered, they won't survive the storm. Daniel's eyes blazed. They will if Atlas is there. He always finds a way. Atlas plans the war. At a hidden safe house, Atlas cleaned his wound. Elena sat beside him, bruised but determined. Cole and Landon strategized. Atlas whispered, Richard thinks fear controls us. Damien thinks chaos defines us. Tonight, we turn the tables. Elena grabbed his hand. Atlas promised me we survive this, all of us. Atlas stared into the storm outside. Tonight, it's not just about saving my father. It's about ending Richard's reign, once and for all. The ambush, Phase 4. Damien watched from a rain-soaked alley. He held a phone. They think they're safe, they're not. Inside the mansion, Richard's guards were on high alert. Damien whispered, Phase 4 starts now. Bring them to me. Everything collapses tonight. The city streets became a war zone. Atlas's team moved with precision. Gunfire echoed. Rain and blood mixed. Atlas's voice cut through chaos. Elena, stay close. Elena fought, shot, dodged. Every step fueled by rage and love. The final betrayal, Damien reveals all. Damien finally appeared in front of Atlas. Gun raised. You think you know betrayal? He sneered. I worked for him, your father, but I never forgot or forgave. Phase 4. It's not about control anymore. It's about revenge, and it's personal. Atlas froze. You set this all up. Damien nodded slowly. Every step, every lie, every tear she shed, mine, and now your turn to bleed. Atlas clenched his fists, fury rising like a storm. Not tonight. Tonight ends differently. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes the world burns so you can rise. Atlas's car skidded through the flooded streets, rain blurring the city lights. Elena clutched his arm, her bruised face pressed to his shoulder. Are we really going to stop him? She whispered. Atlas tightened his grip. We don't stop, we end this, tonight. Cole and Landon flanked them, weapons ready, hearts racing. The storm above mirrored the war brewing below. The Cross Estate chaos unleashed. Richard paced the main hall, Damien beside him, grinning like predators on the hunt. Bring them to me, all of them, no mistakes. Damien's eyes flickered. Phase 5 begins. From the alley outside, Atlas and his team advanced silently. Every step, every breath, every heartbeat brought them closer to the eye of the storm. The battle, gunfire, blood, and fire. The mansion exploded into chaos as Atlas kicked in the side door. Guards fired, bullets shredded walls. Cole rolled behind a pillar. Atlas left. Elena ducked as a guard charged, throwing a punch. She retaliated, every strike fueled by fear, love, and fury. Atlas reached the main hall. Richard and Damien stood waiting, smug, dangerous, untouchable. You think you can destroy me? Richard sneered. I don't think I know, Atlas growled. The first gunshot cracked through the air, then another. The mansion became a symphony of chaos. Bullets, shouts, screams, and shattering glass. Elena fights back. Elena found a guard aiming at Atlas. Without hesitation, she tackled him, grabbed his weapon, and fired. Every shot screamed, I will not be your pawn. Her eyes met Atlas's. He nodded. They fought side by side. Unstoppable, untouchable, united. The father versus son. Atlas versus Richard. Atlas confronted Richard. You killed her, my mother. You tried to cage her. You tried to control me. No more. Richard's face twisted. You are weak, you will fail. Atlas lunged. Fists flew. Pain screamed. Years of betrayal, rage, and loss fueled every strike. Finally, Atlas pinned Richard against a marble wall. Elena stood behind, gun trained on Damien. This ends tonight, Atlas whispered. Richard gasped, beaten but defiant. You will regret this. Atlas's eyes burned. For my mother, for Elena, for me. Yes, I will. Damien's last move, the twist. Damien laughed, blood dripping from a wound. You think this is over? Richard's empire, mine, it's bigger than both of us. And you've only scratched the surface. Alina raised her gun, voice steady. Not anymore. Phase 5 ends tonight. A final burst of gunfire, a flash of lightning, and Damien collapsed. Defeated, alive but broken. Aftermath, freedom and fire. The mansion smoldered. Rain washed away the blood and smoke. Atlas and Alina embraced, bruised, shaken but alive. Daniel, Alina's father, limped out, smiling. You did it, he whispered. Atlas held Alina close. We end this, together always. Cole and Landon cheered. Finally, Landon said, laughing through exhaustion. Atlas looked at the burning estate one last time. No more shadows, no more chains, this is ours. If you love this saga, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next cinematic thrill. Remember, love can be tested, trust can be broken, but courage always fights back.